In the shop today, we're working on a 2010 Chevy Silverado. This is the half ton. It has a 5.3 in it, and this truck has 340 some odd thousand miles, almost 350,000 miles, and it has a misfire. So we're gonna jump in under the hood, see if we can quick diagnose what's going on. The owner doesn't want to put a lot of money into it because the body is starting to really show its age, especially when you get back here to the bed. But we're gonna see if we can keep this thing on the road for another 50,000. Let's see what we can do. So the engine actually sounds pretty good. I don't hear like a lot of lifter noise or anything like that when it is running. It does surge quite a bit up and down. I did try to pull codes, and the only thing I got was bank 2, sensor 2. So we may dig into that, but first we're gonna try to figure out a few other things. But what the owner wanted me to do is just make sure this thing is worth putting some money into. So we're gonna do a compression test. So I went ahead and just put a couple pieces of tape on with my cylinder numbers. 150 to 200 is like, 200 is ideal. It's probably a little lower than that. I got my plug gap written down on there, and of course my firing order. So I'll go ahead and hook up my compression tester, but I started pulling the plugs and I thought I would show you. So that gap, let me put it here against the white. So there is my stack of feeler gauges. If my math is right, that is 81. So 0.081. There you can see that fits without a problem. So this is definitely double the gap that it's supposed to have from the factory. So before we do our compression test though, we want to make sure that our fuel pump isn't running so that it pumps the cylinders full of gas when we don't want it to. So if you grab your lid, you'll find, oh hey, there's the fuel pump. Then you go over here, no fuel pump. Right there is supposed to be the fuel pump fuse, no fuse. So on this model, this uses a fuel control module, and this fuse right here, which is a 25, is what operates that. So we're just gonna grab that out with our pliers and get it out of the way so that we don't have any trouble. So put that somewhere where you won't lose it. How about right there? All right, cylinder number 3 had pretty low compression, but I will show you this plug. I'm gonna say that it was probably not sparking anymore. It's all oil fouled compared to the other ones that, although the gap is huge, they probably were still firing. So my thought is put a little bit of oil in that cylinder, let it get down in the rings, because maybe the gas was just going through it and washed it out. So we're going to let that sit a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and crank it over again and see what we get on that cylinder number 3. So our results for the passenger side are all pretty good. That one's a little low. I mean, compared to the others, usually you want to be within a little percentage. I think it's like 10%. So we're not too far off like these 205s and that 175. That 225 is great, but so this side was pretty good. Of course, this side is not the best. So especially that number 5 cylinder. I did put some oil in that one as well, but it never came up. So we are kind of a little imbalanced between the two sides of the engine, but I think we're gonna put plugs in it and see how it runs. All right, you saw some of the old plugs. You can see that the little electrode is just burnt right off. Here is a new plug. Hopefully that will focus in a little bit. There you go, now you can see it. So that's where that huge gap comes from, is that whole electrode on the end there just burns right off. So let's go ahead and get some new plugs put in this thing. Sorry about all that focus. That's terrible. All right, well, with our plugs all back in and all the wires checked, also put our fuse back in, it's time to fire it up, see if it idles any better. Everything good. All right, well, let's close the hood, take it for a drive. Well, since I disconnected the battery, all the codes are gone. We'll see. I'm sure they'll be back, some of them. I gotta say, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It runs out pretty good. All right, maybe you can hear it. Sounds pretty good. We definitely got a little something making a little noise up front there. But it's running pretty good. So I think we're gonna give this one back to the owner. He's got some other stuff to do on this. Probably gonna look at some wheel bearings eventually, and for sure the U-joint on the back, that's squeaking. But this one's done, and it didn't end up being that hard. I used a really cheap diagnostic tool on this, and really it didn't give me much of anything for codes. So just kind of dug in thinking where the problem could be, and he said he hadn't changed the plugs in a long time, so that made it pretty quick and simple. So all right, this one's gonna get back on the road. I don't know if it'll make it to 400, but we'll see how long it goes.